Tim. I'm going to be co-casting this with GoDz, and we are watching MiTH versus Panza, the German team. They asked me to pronounce it that way, so please excuse my accent on that. But I'm really excited. MiTH is a very, very talented team, and Kuroki is going to be standing in for Panza today. I just confirmed yesterday, after casting one of their games, that he's officially not in the team, but apparently they want the big gun for this game.
Yeah, he was on their lineup at the start of this tournament. However, apparently he's playing in a new team, which is going to be in that Dota 2 Premier League tournament. But here we are with MiTH up against Panza. I feel like ridiculous saying that every time. I'm not sure who's asked to say that, but I'm not sure if that's going to be something I stick with here.
That's fine. Just wait till I talk to you, then you're going to be guilted into it also.
Yeah, it'll slowly happen, I think. But I'm gonna take my time, ease into that, as it's too early in this night to actually start being completely ridiculous and out of control here.
Yeah, for sure.
As nothing too unusual on either of these rosters. It is the normal MiTH roster that just played in the Malaysian Dota 2 tournament, which we both casted. So we saw a lot of them, and finishing up second place to Orange. So they're definitely one of the top Southeast Asian Dota 2 teams here. And it's going to be interesting how they can compete with the Europes. It's not often that you get these sort of Asia versus Europe matches. It happened in the GoDz Cup. It's happening here again. Obviously, lag and delay is always an issue, but hopefully these Dota 2 servers can fix some of those problems.
Yeah, that would be really nice. I mean, we had a couple issues with that lag, but I think that might have been something else. I heard a little bit about people accessing IP addresses or something like that, and apparently somebody did not load into the game, and I'm going to guess, was it one of the players or one of the observers? I didn't notice.
It was actually the players. Huh. 3 of the MiTH players could not... die a victory, apparently. 3 of the MiTH players could not actually connect to the game, so it is going to be...
Well, that's a victory for the Germans.
Game 1.
Game is over. No, we're just kidding. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how they do it. MiTH really did impress me, though, during the Malaysian Invitational. Like, they have such good play, man. Like, their picks are so good, and, like, just beating Orange, like, 2 times in a row in the finals, I was like, oh my god, they're going to win this. I was really intimidated. And that first game was still super close. Orange got the win for it, but that could have gone either way, and I think I was kind of pulling for MiTH that game, actually. I think they had the super farmed Morphling, I believe. And he doesn't work as well when you're lagging like crazy.
Unfortunately, it did get very hard for MiTH as soon as that lag kicked in. But what I like about MiTH is that they show they can use a variety of picks. They don't stick with a single sort of play style. They'll mix it up. They'll pick sort of their hard carries, anti-mage, and Morphling every now and then. But then they'll also go with sort of more push-heavy strats. They'll pick up something like a Sven Lina, or they'll go for a Prophet. They do mix it up a lot. Although I do believe they like to favor those sort of hard carry drafts, especially with the anti-mage. Or if anti-mage isn't available, they will go for something a bit more unusual, like a Morphling. That is sort of Lekel's trademark hero. As far as Panzer going, not too sure what we're going to be seeing from them.
Well, I casted a lot of their games in the GoDz Cup, so I feel like I had a lot of experience. I just casted one of their games tomorrow. Kuroki was not there, though. But during the GoDz Cup, they pretty much played every single game in the lower brackets, just dominating with Nightstalker. Kuroki playing Nightstalker solo mid. They played a lot of Enigma. Almost every single game they played him. And I believe, who did I cast with the other day? I think it was Charms, and he said that Enigma had some stupidly high win rate in some tournament, like 15-1 or something crazy like that. And they play him really well, and they have a lot of really great players. RMN, obviously very talented. He used to be on Ghost Gamers, I believe. I saw him play a couple solo Warlocks, which was really fun. And he would rush a fast sheep stick. That was really cool. And Leaf, Panzer Leaf, is really, really good as well. I saw him do some cool stuff yesterday.
Yeah, they are definitely a team who, I was talking about MiTH mixing up, but by the sounds of it, Panza, they love to really mix around the metagame. Doing something solo Warlock is not something you see too many teams pull off nowadays, and I had not seen Warlock at all in Dota 2, so if they pull up something like a Warlock in Dota 2, that would be absolutely sick to see here.
Yeah, it would.
Whether or not that is going to be something they go for or not, I'm not sure who normally plays their Warlock. I imagine Kuroki's going to be playing either the solo mid or carry role for them. And this is going to be a pretty exciting game for me, at least. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm really excited for sure. We're still waiting for one more player, man. He's apparently having computer issues, which really sucks. But that is too bad. We're gonna have to wait this out, I guess. Fill airtime. Let's do it.
While we're waiting, I'm going to actually shotgun introducing Panzer's team, because their names are so much easier to pronounce.
I got this.
Just for when we do get to see all the heroes picked out.
Go for it.
can't remember. I think it was Charms who he just started introducing the teams. He's like, oh, you can do Myth Trust now. I'm just like, what?
It's not as bad as you think it is, but
it's not too bad. There's just it's a bit confusing because it doesn't look like, because it's Myth Trust. The TR looks like it's part of the second part of their name, but you just have to get rid of the TR bit. Well, it's TRL. TRL. I don't know. Actually, I don't actually know what their actual tag is here.
Maybe it's like a sponsor or something. You know, maybe it's like Gigabyte or Dare or something. You know, something weird like that. It definitely makes it harder. Can't they just be like Myth-TRL-? Apparently not.
Well then, like Kells has his completely different. He doesn't have the L or the I, whatever it is.
He just rolls it through. Lino also has an L, just doesn't give a shit. He's like, we're gonna make this as confusing as possible for anybody casting this.
Yeah, I just don't get how they chose those names. I mean, you're making a name, you go with FFFFY, ABA, I mean, TNK. I mean, where did these names come from?
I don't know. I thought it was weird when I started seeing players who just had numbers. Like, I had a friend explain it to me that they didn't, that way it keeps them more humble or something. They're just a number. They're not like a, you know, like an icon or something. It's like something, and it keeps them like more as a team or something weird like that. But I don't know if that actually makes a difference. Probably not.
I can understand numbers somewhat. It means it's less sort of about your individual glory than it is. It does sort of more focus on the actual team aspect. But yeah, it's something interesting. I can't really talk. I've got an absolutely terrible nickname myself, so I'm not gonna. We're not going to go into nicknames too much. And we are underway. Fantastic. I don't know if are you going to restart the VOD or are we still rolling through?
We're rolling, man. Not going to restart that shit. Boy, everybody's loading in. Fingers crossed, 3 more to go, man. Alright, we got Abba and Lackles and 2 left. Linu is the last one with Abba.
This is what happened last time. We're waiting for the load.
Alright, one more. He's connected. This is looking good.
Absolutely. Let's just hope the observers are also ready, else we could be seeing another minute of waiting time, which I don't know if I could actually hold myself for another minute. And no, everyone's in the game. We're going to get well underway with the draft. First pick going to MiTH Trust, and they're definitely going to be looking into hoping to get an anti-mage first pick, I feel. So they're going to be leaving that, making sure Panza actually ban the anti-mage. And I have a feeling it's going to get banned here.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it get banned so many games in the last week. Usually the first 4 are almost always an anti-mage, a Nature's Prophet, Broodmother, and who is the 4th one?
Night Stalker, I would say.
Yeah, Night Stalker. Yeah, those are like the 4 go-to bans right now, in my opinion. I saw like an Omni Knight squeak out instead of like I don't remember, one of those 4, Broodmother, I think. But you know, stuff like that is kind of variable, and I think those 4 primary are definitely like the most annoying or well discussed as most overpowered heroes in the metagame right now.
Yeah, but what actually happened like the last few nights with the BenQ Clash tournament, you were seeing a few more unusual bans, sort of heroes like Enigma and Beastmaster being banned in the first stage, and what ended up happening is that both Anti-Mage and Prophet made it through, so whoever has first pick suddenly has to decide, do they want the Anti-Mage, do they want the Prophet? So you basically leave those 2 Imber heroes in the pool, force the other team to choose which one, and even got to a point where sometimes Anti-Mage would be banned and Prophet still in the pool, but with something like a Night Stalker, so once again, teams constantly being forced to choose between the greater of 2 evils, and MiTH Trust going with sort of a similar thing where they're banning out a hero that isn't really a top ban with that Slardar ban, which is going to leave this pool very open. Night Stalker, Prophet, both still there, and Broodmother as well. Definitely, Broodmother, one of the heroes, is so capable of controlling a game on its own because of the pushing power, the fact that how hard it is to kill, especially without a Slardar in the pool. So no amp damage going to be available to counter a Broodmother. And Windrunner, the other band, so really unusual bands coming out of MiTH Trust here.
Yeah, it's obvious that they value things a little bit different. That's one of the interesting things about watching a different region, is just they value different things. And like Slardar, bans was very common in Southeast Asia, especially in like the 2nd round. And Nature's Prophet is going to be their first pick. I can tell you pretty much for sure that Panza is going to pick up a Night Stalker. I know for a fact that Kuroki's thinking about it. He's like, dude, I would love to play a Night Stalker. The first pick is going to be Lich for them. And there it is. I called it, man. Yes. Yes. I feel good.
Very, very strong combo there. Lich, obviously, great laning hero. Night Stalker, just one of those heroes that can control the tempo of a game. And MiTH Trust, I mean, if the Malaysia tournament's anything to go by, they love Void. That's another hero. Void was banned like half of those games in the first ban stage.
In the first
like, for some reason, these Southeast Asian teams were banning Void a lot of the time. So definitely they did rate it quite highly as a hero. I don't think we'll be seeing Myth pick it up this early on, but Void does do okay against the Night Stalker. But more likely than not, we are going to see Myth Trust go for some heroes that are somewhat hard to kill, so Night Stalker does not get too on top of them. Maybe go for something like an ES, even ES with a... Oh, they go with a Beastmaster, so there's a tanky hero, which Night Stalker is going to have a bit of trouble taking out, and as well as that Raw, a great skill to have to stop the Night Stalker's advance.
Yeah, I mean, his biggest problem as a hero trying to fight Night Stalker, he is so fast and hard to kill. Any hero that is hard to kill or that is fast and hard to kill, man, just drop Aurora on them. It's so good. Heroes like Crobolus or like any other fast tanky hero, you just gotta stop them from moving and right-click them until they die. And that is why a Beastmaster pickup is so good. Beastmaster is just so good against so many different heroes. Against carries, against semi-carries, it just makes ganking that much easier, and that's why people pick him up so much.
Yep, and as mentioned, Earthshaker actually does get picked up here. So Earthshaker, a nice hero as well. He can sit at the back. And similar to a Raw, you throw down that fissure if Night Stalker tries to run in. Obviously, ES can't be at the front, but if ES positions himself well, it is a nice counter ganker, and will fit in well with the Myth Trust lineup, leaving their options fairly open. Heroes like Ancient Apparition definitely could fit in well there, and they are probably going to pick up a hard carry. They do love that Morphling, and maybe even going to see Panza banning off the Morphling in their second ban stage. But right now, they're more concerned about this third pick. I'm looking, I mean, maybe at a Tide Hunter here, depending on how aggressive they want to be. Tide plus Lich is not very aggressive, though. Those two heroes that rely a lot on their ultimates don't have much pushing power, so if they want to be aggressive and use that Night Stalker in a sort of aggressive pushing kind of strategy, they may go for something like the Shadow Shaman here to push down some early towers.
I actually think that would be really smart. I was going to predict an Enigma here, but they end up picking a Venomancer, which is going to allow them to do any kind of pushing, or will at least give them pushing options as a support hero. They can also solo him if they wish to do that, and that Venomancer ulti obviously very, very good in team fights as well, so it will provide some nice slows. There aren't a ton of disables on the Dire team so far, which is the only downside. A lot of slows, but no stuns yet, except for mini stuns, and that's it. So that, I think that might be a little bit of a weird kink in their picking so far, but you know, maybe they have something planned. Maybe they are going to go for like an Enigma Venomancer, pick up an Enigma later, maybe pick up like a Chen or an Enchantress, and just do a lot of pushing. Something like that is a possibility, so I think the Venomancer pick is not that bad.
Yeah, and they're not really against any heroes yet that they need to disable down. They're not up against like an anti-mage or any kind of storm spirit. Any of these heroes that you need stuns, disables to counter. I mean, ES Beastmaster slows are perfectly. I mean, slows work just as well as stuns when you're against melee heroes most of the time. Obviously, they can just TP out. You have got the mini stun from the Night Stalker. And we are going to see the bans coming out here. I definitely think Chen is going to be a hero that will fit in very well with this Panzer lineup if they do want to go with that. They could have the Venomancer on solo, the Chen in the jungle coming out to help the Night Stalker push and get some early ganks on. So maybe going to be an option they go for. Also, that Chen heal plus mech, which we will probably see if they go with a Chen or maybe the mech on the Lich, is a great tool to have against the Earthshaker AoE.
Yeah, it definitely is. And an interesting ban from Panza. They're going to ban out the Drow Ranger. I did see MiTH Trust play Drow Ranger a few times, but like we said, a little bit better known for the Morphling play. Maybe they're just a lot more confident against the Morphling, because Night Stalker, obviously, man, with that fear, makes it so much easier in trying to kill him. He can't just use Replicate to escape or Waveform. And finally, we're also seeing a Pugna ban out of MiTH, fearing the push strat, the high gank push strat kind of a situation. And Pugna, obviously, that Netherward, man, it is so good.
Yeah, it's great skill, but I mean, their heroes aren't really too mana dependent, or they don't have high mana costing nukes, unless they are maybe going for something like a Shadow Shaman, which would obviously get countered very hard by a Pugna. So maybe MiTH Trust thinking of picking up some mana heavy heroes, or possibly going for a very late game oriented strategy, so wanting to ban that Pugna. Morphling definitely an option, but I'm thinking they may actually be going for something more like a Spectre here. Spectre is a bit tankier, doesn't get countered so much by the Night Stalker, and if they can get a fast Vanguard on Spectre, that could be a great way for them to ensure that late game victory. And then the Spectre plus Prophet, the two global AoE ultimates, could be a very, very strong tool to have in the late game. Yeah,
that's definitely really true. And Panza going to continue banning hard carries here. That's pretty much their entire ban pool. Just trying to get out all the really, really nasty ones. This is why I kind of think that I feel like they did this in the GoDz Cup as well. They never really wanted to pick a hard carry themselves, so they end up banning out all the best hard carries so that they could just out gank and not have to worry about the late game. And that's a very cool strategy. And we'll see if MiTH actually, I mean, they're waiting until their last pick to pick a hard carry, which is really smart here. Spectre is like the only main hard carry left in the pool, unless I'm forgetting someone, and they're going to pick up an Ancient Apparition.
There's just so many. I think the problem with Panzer bang all these hard carry is that there's always more hard carry options. What there's fewer of is support options and sort of solo heroes that will fit into your lineup. I think they would have been better off banning that Ancient Apparition. The Ancient Apparition means that they can't pick up that Chen. They can't go for a heal-heavy lineup to counter the Earthshaker, so it is going to limit their options there, and definitely, I mean, they banning Void and Drow is nice to stop just picking them up as carries, but as you said, Spectre's still in the pool, Morphling's still in the pool, Sniper in the pool. I mean, there's definitely heaps of options there. Obviously, they are the less popular ones, especially the Morphling and Sniper, but Spectre are definitely a likely pick here coming out of MiTH, and they go with a Lifestealer, so that's something there hasn't been much of lately. Well, really at all. It's only just been introduced, and we're going to see it in a competitive game here by Panzer.
Yeah, I actually saw they played a Lifestealer yesterday in their game lineup. The team they played against was much worse than them, but they played him really effectively. And I watched Kuroki a couple minutes on stream last night. He actually played Lifestealer, I believe, twice in a row, something like that. So we'll see if he ends up playing the Lifestealer. RMN, I know, RMN did play yesterday in the Panza game, so I expect he's going to be playing that hero. And it does give him a lot of options. I mean, you can destroy an Earthshaker, man. There's not a lot Earthshaker can do to you until you get a Ghost Scepter. So I think they're going to have decent options. There is still going to be the Roar being able to shut him down, but he's kind of an interesting hard carry in the fact that he does have pretty good chase and damage contribution in the early game. Plus Infest is really, really interesting.
Yeah, and forget about Spectre, forget about Morphling. They've gone with a Weaver. Nerubian Weaver slipping all the way through to the 5th pick here, and MiTH are going to pick that up as their sort of main carry here. It's more or less a hard carry. It's kind of like Night Stalker's that it's not like your typical hard carry that just does right-click DPS. It does rely a lot on its mobility and the fact that it is very, very hard to kill, much like a Lifestealer because of that rage. And it does work well against a Lifestealer because Lifestealer's not going to really be able to shut down this Weaver. What they have got is the Night Stalker silence, but apart from that, they've got no stuns, they've got no disable, so Weaver actually works really well here. They haven't got something like a Lion or a Shadow Shaman yet, and maybe with this last pick, they're going to have to pick up some kind of disable.
Wow, it's going to be a Storm Spirit. I saw Kuroki playing him last night as well, and all of a sudden they have like a lot of semi-carries here. With the Night Stalker, with the Storm Spirit, with the Lifestealer. Is he going to have to jungle or something? I mean, that's pretty much their only disable, is Electric Vortex, which is looking really scary, because seriously, nothing fills a team better than just more stuns. It makes the game so much easier. You don't have to worry about stuff. You can gank, and it's casual. It's going to be so much harder here with all these slows and burst damage. I mean, what's saying the teams don't just TP out or something, you know?
Yeah, and especially as a Storm Spirit or even a Night Stalker or even Lifestealer, if they want to go in looking for a gank, they're going to be up against a Beastmaster Roar, ES Fissure, Sprout from the Prophet, Ancient Apparition is going to have a Cold Feet, which more than likely is going to hit because they've got the multiple stuns in the Sprout to make sure that Cold Feet hits. So that's 4 disables coming out from the Radiant team with ease. And then you throw in stuff like a big ES Ultimate and the Enchant Totem. That's a lot of disable and a great counter gank team they've got there. Anyways, we are into the game. Who is playing what? Unfortunately, Kuroki cannot play both the Lifestealer and the Storm Spirit. He is on that Lifestealer. We've got Leaf playing the Storm Spirit. We've got Alex playing that Venomancer. PAS playing the Lich, and finally on the Night Stalker is RMN. So I'll leave the Radiant team up to you.
Alright, the hard ones, I got this, guys. Linu is going to be playing the Nature's Prophet, TNK on the Ancient Apparition, FFFFY playing the Earthshaker. We have Lackles playing the Weaver, he always plays the hard carry role, and finally Abba going to be playing the Beastmaster in the mid lane. He's going for really fast, looks like a 3GG with a lack of Tango. Wow, being really aggressive here, just says, you know what? I can farm 160 gold, no problem, get my fast bottle. I'm not going to take any damage or be in threat of dying, which is kind of interesting, but he is expecting to be up against either a Night Stalker or a Storm Spirit, most likely, so I think that's a pretty safe, a really safe gamble there, coming out of Abba.
Yep, and wow, this chicken at bottom almost gets chased down by a tree and does a bit of dodging at bottom lane. The Prophet tree is making its way all the way to that lane, chasing down the chicken, or donkey I should say, but not managing to find it. And yeah, Venomancer and Lich going to be dual laning at bottom by the looks of it. We've got Night Stalker at top, so that does leave the Lifestealer to jungle here. I was expecting maybe Lich and Venomancer to be played as support, so both Night Stalker, Lifestealer and Storm can all have a lane to farm in, but the Lifestealer is actually going to be in that jungle, which is going to be slow farming for him, I feel. So it's going to take a while before he can come in, looking for some kills, looking for some ganks, and that is going to slow down Panzer's aggression. It does mean that they are going to have to wait to get their farm up, and if MiTH can dominate this early game, they are going to be looking very, very strong here with their disable heavy lineup.
Yeah, he actually did a jungling lifestealer in the other day too. It was amazing. He never used his salve. He never had to use it. He did a combination of pulling, and in addition to that, he would go to the weak camps, and then while he was pulling, he was constantly auto-attacking to heal up any HP that he had lost by doing solo jungling. So it was actually really interesting. It worked out pretty good, and he ended up carrying that game. He had some other help, of course. I'm sure his team played really well, but it was definitely an interesting situation. We'll see how effective it is here. He is doing his first pull. And once again, Storm Spirit is on the mid lane, up against the Beastmaster, which is pretty even. Beastmaster doesn't really have to worry about dying, but I'm sure that the Storm Spirit's going to get pretty good CS. And finally, yeah, that Venomancer and Lich on the bot lane going to do their best to shut down the hard carry. It's always fun to see ranged heroes lane with the Lich, dual lane on the bottom, because it actually works quite well at denying CS and just keeping the harass up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a very strong combo, but the worry is that they are up against the tri-lane, so ESAA have a lot of killing power. Throw in a Weaver as well to chase down heroes, and that is going to be Panzer in a bit of trouble at this bottom lane. If they can't keep the wave of their tower, it is going to eventually push out. They've already de-warded the pull as well as the... Well, they've de-warded both of the wards planted down, and that's going to be a big worry as Lich and Venomancer with no vision, meaning... I mean, MiTH, they can creep pull to pull the wave back, and they also have free ganks coming in without the Ops Ward spotting them.
Yeah, and that was definitely a really smart plan by them. Lucking out, does that Sentry Ward actually spot the one by the trees by that spots the rune? It's like at the absolute corner.
Whereabouts are we talking about? No, I don't.
Okay, so...
Oh, the Sentry Ward, it was used to de-ward that. It did in fact de-ward that.
Okay, yeah, well, that's really far away. It must have been, like, perfectly placed.
Yeah.
That stuff's really good to know, because that could have caught so many different ward spots, basically, just placing the Sentry Ward right outside of range. Right in range.
Yeah. That's going to be useful, but they have got those Venomancer Plague Wards. Venomancer's going to have to spam those to scout, but the problem is those do give good gold. That's 17 gold right there. And as a support hero, an Ancient Apparition supporting a Weaver, you're not getting any creep kills, so those Venomancer Plague Wards is some nice free gold. And that's going to allow this MiTH team to get more gold into their pockets, get up more wards, and we do see mid lane. A bit of harass going down on Storm Spirit, forcing Leaf to use his first salve of the game, as he does have that bottle coming out very, very soon.
Does he have it on the courier is the real question, and he does actually, so he's absolutely fine, and he's still 200 gold towards his boots as well, and Beastmaster as well, picking up his bottle and his boots. They're pretty darn equal here. Maybe Storm Spirit a little bit ahead in terms of farm, but not major amounts by any means, and Venomancer continuing to use his wards just to scout out anybody trying to swing around the backside of them. That's going to go a long way. They still haven't done any pulling here as far as I'm aware. They're just really concerned, and on the top lane, Lifestealer coming in, level 3, and this is what he did last game too. Are they going to be able to pick off the Nature's Prophet? He does get silenced, so he cannot TP. One of the benefits of trying to shut down a Nature's Prophet teleport, you can silence or stun, and just a few more hits, they're going to... Man, are they not going to get this kill? He's got to wait 9 seconds for another open wounds.
He's not going to turn around and sprout because he knows they have Tango, so they could just eat through. And there we go. The Void from Night Stalker. He was waiting for the mana. He didn't have mana for it. What? He instantly buys back. It must... Prophet, not wanting to waste any time, buys back and TP's bottom to go push. Prophet, played by Lino, is just playing some very unconventional play here, abandoning top lane, using all his early game gold to buy back, and MiTH doing some very, very early pressure on this bottom tier 1 tower. But the problem is, where is Weaver? Where is Weaver going to farm? Weaver actually died at bottom lane, so Weaver now TPing top, and this is not looking good for MiTH to start off with.
Yeah, they're absolutely switching it up here. I guess they're expecting to lane the Weaver against the Night Stalker, which would give them a slight advantage, but Night Stalker does have a lot of gold, 1400 here. It's not like he's going to be weak for that much longer, and they won't be able to necessarily gank unless they get a Dust, but even still, Dust plus Fear plus the open wounds is going to be a really slow Weaver, and they might be able to pick him off with a little bit of burst damage.
Meanwhile, this bottom tier 1 tower is going to go down, despite the huge amount of Venomancer Plague Wards. It may see a deny coming as ES takes a huge amount of damage. He's going to get down to... He's going to go down completely.
Wow.
And taking so many tower hits there, we do see FFF Wise, Earthshaker go down, and Panza defending this bottom tier 1 tower. It's going to go down, but the longer they keep it up, the better position they are in.
Yeah, and this working out so good because Venomancer is a pusher. It works the same if you're trying to counter push. Just having that little bit of damage pinging away at the units at all times goes a really long way. And Lich, not the best AoE hero. You almost always want to save that Frost Blast for a single target. Does a lot more damage to single targets than AoE. So it's really cool that this lane is covering all their bases. It lets them stop the push, slow it down, and they can still outlane the tri lane.
Yep, and the other concern for MiTH is this Lich is getting closer and closer to having that level 6 ultimate. He is level 5. has, I mean, pretty much a full level to go, but if he gets that level 6 up in the next few minutes, if he gets level 6 before this tier 1 tower at bottom goes down, MiTH Trust are going to really struggle to finish that off because they're going to be in so much danger running into a Lich ultimate. And it looks like ES is going to do a bit of pulling just to pull this way back, going to buy Lich even more time to hit level 6.
Yeah, and this will give him a couple extra levels, but it's not going to increase his damage a whole bunch. Here comes the gank on the top lane. Now we're going to see the roar pretty much guaranteed. There it is. Nothing that Night Stalker's going to be able to do about that. Even the the Nature's Prophet coming in, summoning a couple Treants, and will they be able to push down the tower? I mean, that's a good plan, man. If bottom's not working, switch lanes to the non-pushing heroes, and Night Stalker goes down. He did have treads, but he didn't have any regen there, so that was his problem, getting blinked on and picked off by the roar.
Yeah, MiTH Trust not off to a great start, but I like how they're reacting. They're moving around the map. Beastmaster has moved top, Prophet has moved top to bottom, back to top. Weaver has gone from bottom to top, so they have high mobility. They're really putting a lot of pressure onto Panza. I mean, right now Panza are dealing really well with this pressure, but the fact that MiTH Trust is staying on the aggressive is working in their favor as they are going to take down this tier 1 top tower, and that's a nice bit of gold for them.
Well, big fissure from the Earthshaker, but he will be chased. He almost makes it away there, getting the fissure off on the Night Stalker. Will they continue chasing? We're going to see Night Stalker get cold feeded, but Ancient Person will back up. He's still pretty squishy, 600 HP there, and Armin will back up using those fast treads. He doesn't have an urn or anything is the only downside, so he's not going to be easily healed up from this, but maybe they'll just like dominate this tri-lane on the bottom. That would actually be really interesting, just to have this like switch from a dual lane into a tri-lane with the Night Stalker, but it looks like he will go roam somewhere else, I guess.
Yep, and Prophet deciding to do some neutraling now. Finally had enough TPing around, pushing lanes. He's going to looks to be farming up a medallion. Does have a Sage's Mask. It's either a medallion or an urn. Both are strong early game items have on Prophet. And there we go. We are finishing off the tier 1 bottom tower. The deny not coming in, and that's 2 towers to MiTH Trust, despite being behind 1 kill to 4 and giving up that first blood. They are not going to be all that far behind as they actually have a gold lead here.
Yeah, that went really far away. Look at that advantage. It was up to 1,500, just a general farming advantage out of Panza, and then all of a sudden equaling it up with those 2 towers. So if Panza can retaliate and do similar things like jack towers anywhere possible, I mean, it's going to push them back in the advantage here. So MiTH really needs to try to hold on to their towers, make sure they're defending everything, and it might be a little dangerous against heroes like Venomancer. He's always going to have that option of doing a generally fast ward push.
I'm wondering what this lifesteal is going to go for. Lifesteal with 2k gold. That's Crocker. I think he's going for a MiTH here because he saved up so much gold. It could be treads, but I've just got this feeling he wants to buy a MiTH. Unfortunately, the courier is flying out before he buys anything. That's going to go to the Night Stalker by the looks of it. And Kuroki going to have to wait. Does have 2k gold. And as soon as he starts getting those levels and items coming in, he's going to be looking to get involved in some of these ganks and team fights. Or, I mean, he could just keep on farming away, but Lifesteal isn't really a hard carry. As you can't really out-farm, or you can't really out-carry a Weaver, because Weaver just has such great mobility, and as a Lifestealer, you can't really kill him. I mean, without that, Night Stalker can help you out.
Yeah, that's really true. Storm Spirit spotting out the Earthshaker, and he's going to ball laning away. Good reaction time there. Yeah, I definitely think he's going to MiTH. I saw him go MiTH last night, and unlike most hard carries, it does give you a lot of damage bonus for the fact that, you know, every time you slap them, you also get a feast hit off, so getting just attack speed alone does actually increase your damage by a decent amount. So I think it's actually a pretty good lifestealer item that's going to allow him to farm into his armlet and other items really quickly. He actually went for like I saw him get like an armlet Mask of Madness or something crazy like that. It was really interesting. But it works out, man. If you're magic immune, Mask of Madness is really not that bad on a hero, so it was kind of cool.
Yep, and there it is. It is a MiTH. We do see Night Stalker with Tread, Stout Shield, and Magic Stick in that top lane. Could be possibly going for a Vanguard, although he could just keep that Stout Shield, go for something more defensive like an Ags or BKB. But meanwhile, mid lane Raw on the Storm. Storm is going to escape though. The Cold Feet does not hit, or does not latch on in time, and Storm flies out, uses a few bottle charges, and is in position to go flying back in because he's at sort of 400 mana here in full HP.
Big mistake on MiTH Trust. They purchased an extra animal courier. They did not buy the recipe. Kind of a weird mistake coming out of them, but it's sitting. The courier has a courier. They're going to lose a little bit of gold out of that. Not most importantly, man, that's extra time. It takes a long time for the regular courier to run between bases. I would be really frustrated, especially if it's like a poor support hero that is just so rough to lose that little advantage.
Yeah, A is doing okay. I mean, he does have boots, 400 gold, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a concern for him. Obviously, you'd like to get up to some items like a mech maybe, but not going to be the biggest problem for Myth Trust. What they are going to have to worry about is this Life Stealer who is yet to be touched in jungle, and this Night Stalker who is just roaming around looking for kills. As bottom lane, Weaver goes down.
That was a really good play. Yeah, Venomancer was getting dived basically by the Weaver. He picked up that haste rune, waited like 2 seconds, TP'd to the top lane. Weaver did Sakuchi, but he was still within the True Set aura, and Storm Spirit was able to get off the Electric Vortex just at the right time and line up extra tower damage. So Armin on the mid lane, he looks in trouble. But he's not going to have a roar, so all the disables will roar in 1 second. Will he get far enough away? There's the roar, and that's going to be it for Armin. I think, are they going to get him to one? Almost saves him, very, very close, but he does end up going down.
Yeah, the Lich ultimate was used a bit prematurely there. It was used in the actual gank on Beastmaster. Didn't get the kill, it didn't bounce the right way, and then Beastmaster just got some backup and went flying in, launched on that Night Stalker, and as soon as that roar was up, that was an easy kill, and Myth Trust maybe going to try and pressure this tier 1 tower at mid, and if they can get a 3 tower lead here with the Prophet on their side, that's a huge pushing and sort of pressuring lineup, and that could create a lot of openings for them to get a bigger and bigger gold lead.
Yeah, Venomancer trying to slow this down, spamming as many wards as possible. There is the fortification. Are we going to see, looks like Lich is almost here. He doesn't have his ulti though, and I think we're going to see the tower get last hit. It actually does not get denied or last hit by either team, so still a big victory for Myth. Weaver maybe out of position here. He's going to take a newt, but Lich is possibly going to go down. He will chase this, and he will end up dying. Night Stalker, nice time lapse, very good play there by Lackles, and it looks like the Storm Spirit going on the Earthshaker. He will get a kill there as well, so it's pretty even trade so far. Ancient Apparition also going to get dropped. This haste rune, man, just making a really big difference.
Yeah, that was really well played by the Weaver. I followed him to start that fight, but meanwhile Storm was just unleashing havoc on the support heroes of Myth Trust, picking up 2 kills with a haste rune, and that's going to force Weaver to back off now as he has no backup in the form of the ES and AA, and wow, he almost falls down. If that Static Remnant had hit, that would have been him going down.
Yeah, or he had the mana for an Electric Vortex. He was so low there, that's all he could cast. If he could have Vortex that, I'm pretty sure that would have been a free kill on the Weaver since he had less than 100 HP, I believe. So, really lucky little pull-out. But, I mean, Panza's down on towers. They're down 3 towers, but they still... Actually, they're only down 2 now. They got the top tower. But they are up 4 kills, and I'm sure they're farming a little bit better since they've had a jungler the whole time.
Yeah, Lifesteal, meanwhile, while that push and teamfight was going on, Lifesteal actually took the tier 1 tower at top, which is going to give Panzer some gold into their pockets and get, I mean, especially this Lifesteal, Kuroki is going to get more and more farmed, has treads now, and I believe he'd go for an armlet here, although there are definitely other options. I mean, items like the Shadow Blade, still possible, and meanwhile mid lane, Ironman in a bit of trouble here. The Roar's going to come in, Night Stalker uses the ultimate, but he's already been roared and he's going to go down despite using that ultimate. Need a couple more hits, there we do, Beastmaster gets it, and Lich, Sprouted, in trouble, under tower, does have the ultimate, and Weaver quite smartly backs off as he doesn't know how many more heroes are going to be there to back up that Lich.
Yeah, definitely a pretty unfortunate loss there for Panza. They need to keep that Night Stalker slightly farmed, but he hasn't really made a huge impact on the game yet, surprisingly. Just hasn't quite been in the right place at the right time. Got one good gank off on the bot lane, but that has been about it so far. Roar, like we said, man, Roar is just so good for countering those heroes, and a nice tower pickup. Perfect stun from Earthshaker. That is the timed ulti. But Kuroki coming in. Who is he going to open wounds? He used it on somebody. It's going to go on the Ancient Apparition. Ancient Apparition going to try to TP out. He's going to infest out, and a mistake from Kuroki. He did the infest to try to get the bonus damage, but then he misclicked, and Ancient Apparition made the TP. I think he could have just gotten him if he auto-attacked, man. Instead of trying to
That's what I was expecting. I saw AA start TPing. I'm like, what's this AA doing? He should just save that TP because he's dead. But no, he knew better than I did. He just TP'd right out, and Night Stalker and Lifesteal trying to finish off this Beastmaster. Beastmaster is just trying to bottle up, get some heals going, and Night Stalker not going to be able to finish him off. And the problem for this Night Stalker is he used that ultimate before he died, so by the time he respawned, it was suddenly daytime again, and that ultimate has a 160-second cooldown, and that means Night Stalker not going to have that nighttime for a very, very long time.
Wow, nice play by Night Stalker. There's the fear. Are they going to get him? The one! Oh my god, he does go down. That was so close. That was such a good play by Armen, just absolutely baiting the Weaver into that kill. Everybody shows up all of a sudden, the burst nuke, the fear. That was such a good play. I really like that.
Yeah, it was a great play by him, but Weaver just really getting a bit overzealous. They should not have dived in that far. All he had to do was click that Night Stalker and see that. Even though it's daytime, Night Stalker can still silence him, can still nuke him down. And that is exactly what happened. And meanwhile, mid lane, Beastmaster with the Roar finds the Venomancer, takes him out. And that's going to be a bit more gold towards his Beastmaster.
Yeah, he did have an invisibility rune, so he scouted out the Venomancer, who's about 70% HP, not a huge amount of HP, and did get the roar off, and a little bit of coordination from the A was just enough. Nature's Prophet didn't even TP on it. That's how convinced they were about getting that kill. I assume that he didn't have cooldown, or he did have cooldown. And Kuroki back on the top lane, gonna continue farming. Does he have anything new? 2200 gold, man. He really is doing pretty good in terms of gold. I think Armlet is about 2400 or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it does sound about right.
2600.
Okay.
So he's getting really close to that. One more hand of Midas and he's set.
Yep, Venomancer going for a mech, so he's going to be going for that support item there. We've got Lich just trying to make some treads, continuing the warding, and Storm Spirit, more importantly, heading towards a BKB at 1600 gold. That's enough for his Mythical Hammer, but still needs the BKB recipe, which is another 1300 gold before he can finish that BKB.
Yeah, definitely. It makes a big difference. If he can still get roared, but there's a lot of nukes in there. Ancient Apparition, etc. Stuff like that, just don't have to worry about it. And most importantly, of course, the Earthshaker stuns. He is such a pain in the ass, man. Just chain stun you in a team fight. Alex, once again, going to try to defend this with his wards. But it's not going to be enough, man. This is a 4v1. His teammates are kind of on the way, but they're a little bit behind. And if they have the glyph, they don't actually have a glyph, so they're not going to be able to glyph before it goes in. But Storm Spirit going in so far with the Infest. Big AoE damage. Earthshaker goes down immediately. Leaf may get disabled. He may end up going down. I think he will, actually. He's not going to make it down. The A ulti is enough. Still more chasing. Nature's Prophet goes down. Now going after the Weaver. Weaver out of HP as well, but he's going to get away with his Sakuchi. Venomancer cleaning up on Beastmaster. Lich still alive, and that was absolutely worth it, man. Picking off 3 heroes already, and that Infest, yeah, level 2 Infest, man. 275 AoE damage with that combo.
That is just a very scary combo, and I was looking at that push thinking, what are Panzer going to do here? They are in trouble. They're going to go down another tower, and then suddenly Infest into Storm. It's a free Blink Dagger for the Nakes, and not only is it a free Blink Dagger, but he gets in the perfect position to initiate into that fight, and with Storm Spirit too, seem to do a huge amount of damage. But meanwhile, Weaver, who did survive, is running around on red HP, getting kill after kill. Well, sorry, just the one kill on the Lich. But Night Stalker unable to catch up with him and get that silence off, so Weaver going to get a sneaky little kill and escape as well.
Yeah, he's running to the side shop. Initiation on Arm, and he's going to get picked off, I'm pretty sure, by the Earthshaker AA combo here. Getting cold feeded, and yes, indeed, he does shatter there. Unfortunate, once again, man, just getting caught out of position, a little too adamant, looking for that Weaver, and I swear to God, he's been in nighttime like this whole game, or daytime this whole game. Every important team fight, it seems like. He is running slow as heck, and that's not very typical for most Night Stalkers. So that's what it seems like, at least.
And look at his items. He's got 2 gauntlets of strength, so possibly going for an urn, but that is such a late urn. And yeah, he does have a Sage's Mask as well, so going for sort of like a 20-minute urn. It's one of those items you almost want to get up in the first 5 minutes of the game for it to be effective, because getting that first urn charge can sometimes take a while. So you want it up for that first nighttime, and he's not going to see it until this second nighttime, which will be around the sort of the 22-minute mark, I want to say. Possibly actually around the 20-minute mark. I'm not quite sure where that falls, but he is definitely behind in farm, behind in levels, and just not had much of an impact on this game yet.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Looks like Ancient Apparition going for his mechanism. He doesn't have any Arcane Boots yet, but we're going to see a smoke up. Earthshaker, Ancient Apparition, and Beastmaster looking for a gank. Beastmaster does have his ultimate, of course, with a haste rune, so we will see who they find. Hopefully it's not that Night Stalker again. I would start to feel really bad for him, man. Looks like the Greater Boar going to scout a little bit. They will spot the Lifestealer. Lifestealer sees the Boar. Is he just going to last hit it? He does kill the Boar, but there's the Roar. He still has the Armlet on as well, so he's taking big damage with the A ulti, and he does get the Rage off, which is going to possibly keep him alive. He's going to infest on a neutral creep, and then will he come out? He's coming out doing the damage, not healing nearly as much as I thought he would. Maybe he still had the AA debuff, and toggling his armlet 15 HP, and he survives.
And a huge Lich ultimate takes out the ES, Storm flies in, takes out the AA, 2 kills going in Panzer's favour. They're going to get more if they can get this Weaver, and we do see Beastmaster pick up 1, which is the Lich. And Beastmaster, thank God he has that haste rune, else he would have been in so much trouble there, but he will use that haste rune just to run the hell out. Meanwhile, Lifestealer surviving, going to keep on farming in the nukes, doesn't care that he has 200 HP, just fearless, really.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I'm pretty sure he didn't get healed from the Infest. He was way too low HP when he came out of there. I'm assuming maybe, I don't know if that's a bug or not, I haven't actually looked into the mechanics, but I think it was A ulti, I'm guessing.
I was about to say, my initial thought was, what just happened? That's bugged. Why didn't he heal up? Because of the Infest should have healed him up, but maybe the AA ultimate was on him, and that would have prevented the heal. But he still survived. So
yeah, it was pretty pretty close. That's for sure. Especially he was definitely very close to shadow range, but ended up using that rage to keep alive. So really good play. Not to mention he did the AoE damage and ended up toggling his armlet and staying alive. That was so close, man. He toggled his armlet a few times.
I think if ES had timed those stuns a bit better, he could have kept the lifestealer stun locked before he could actually use that rage, but the enchant totem, the fissure, were not actually timed well enough. The fissure didn't even stun the lifestealer, so
really?
it was definitely possible to get that fissure stun off because the raw was used. He got in position for an enchant totem, but the fissure just came too late, and that allowed lifestealer to rage out and live on that couple hundred HP. But MiTH, they still want to be aggressive here. We do see Invis on the Beastmaster looking to roam around these dire neutrals, but there are some sentry wards up, so they're going to be very, very careful.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting positioning. They're going to keep putting it up there just to make sure that they don't have any wards on the high ground. They don't want to keep the towers going in an advantage against them. They still only have that one tower of MiTH, so definitely playing in a defensive format. They definitely have good gold, though. I mean, look how close this game is. It's been maximum 1,500, and it's been up and down completely. So we're going to see a smoke from Panza here. They're all ready to go. Looks like another item for lifesteal. He is going for what I saw him do last night. He picks up an Oblivion Staff, possibly going for an Orchid here. And most importantly, that's going to increase his mana cost, or his mana regen by a crap load, which means he's going to be more able to cast Open Wounds a couple times in a team fight.
Yep, and once again, he's infested into that storm, so wherever storm goes, he'll go with. And it's actually Weaver in the secret shop. Is there going to be a silence in time? He does not get it, but they have vision anyways with the Sentry Ward, instantly kill him, and Beastmaster needs to be careful as well. If he gets caught out, they will take out the Lich with an AA ultimate, but both ES and Beastmaster in a lot of trouble here. Nags, Night Stalker will finish off this Beastmaster at top. Beastmaster so hard to take down because of that Vanguard though. And he is going to take some time and will actually get some backup coming out from the Prophet. Prophet with a nice sprout, but Beastmaster is still going to go down, and Prophet now going to be next in the firing line as Nags wants to chase him down. And we do see both Venomancer and Lich go down as well for the Panzer team. So far 2 for 2, but Panzer in great position here, forcing AA to TP out. And a big ES ultimate will get once again Night Stalker. Even though it's nighttime, he goes down. I feel so sorry for this guy.
Dude, I feel sorry for Panzer Leaf here. The Storm Spirit, 2 support heroes TP'd out under his nose. Both the Earthshaker and that Ancient Apparition at the end there. He split off into the jungle to chase after the ES. ES got away. Then he finds the Ancient Apparition solo. Once again, gets away after the Electric Vortex. So really unfortunate there for Panzer Leaf. He obviously should have kept his Electric Vortex. Just bait it out and just keep auto-attacking and keep close positioning. But that's a tough lesson, man. That really sucks in these big games like this where you get that many people just out from under your nose.
I really thought that fight was going to go a lot worse for MiTH. I mean, Weaver getting picked off at the very start, then Beastmaster getting a bit out of position, did manage to get the raw, but he was still out of position, but in the end, it actually didn't go all that badly, as MiTH picked up, I think it was a 3 for 2 trade in MiTH's favor, so it actually ended up being a good fight for them, although they did lose their carry hero, the Weaver, very early on. They picked up some nice revenge kills.
Yeah, and it looks like they're definitely concerned about pushing. The Nature's Prophet did go for the Aghanim Scepter, which means there's not going to be as great of places for their heroes to farm. But this is, we can point this out anyways. Weaver's going for Tread's Lincoln Sphere. He's not concerned about doing a super hard carry. He's concerned about staying alive. And this means that he's not going to get a Radiance anytime soon. But they don't really care, man. They just want to keep taking tower advantage. We're going to see a little bit of a team fight. Will Kuroki rage in time? He gets it off. He does get roared, though, but it means he's not going to take very much damage. Here comes the Open Wounds and the chase. Earthshaker just getting dropped. The Chain Frost is really good. Gonna bounce so many times on this Ancient Apparition. They will continue chasing. Actually, Night Stalker going after the Beastmaster, surprisingly, and the Infest comes out. Beastmaster does get picked off, so a nice little team fight there for Panza so far.
Yeah, a great initiation. I mean, from Panza's point of view, not so much an initiation, but just a bit of fortune went their way. They ran into 3 MiTH heroes and they had 4 or 5 of their own, and luckily Lifestealer got off the rage before the roar. I think even if he got roared before raging there, he would have been perfectly fine. They couldn't have killed him with just 3 heroes when Lifestealer had the backup with the Night Stalker as well as the Storm there. So Lifestealer was always going to be okay there, and that fight was never going to go in MiTH's favor.
Yeah, and they end up picking up a tower here, so little by little, they're going to jump up on the gold graph. I'm sure the game is going to be in their favor. Yeah, it is, exactly. It's actually launching into their favor. 3k gold advantage now, and all they have to do is pick up these towers, and they're going to be sitting really, really good this game. Plus, MiTH went for the Weaver with the semi-carry roll, not going for the hard carry, so it's going to be really, really tough for them to win this in the next 10 minutes, which is when they need to win it. They need to take a Rax very soon.
Yep. At the same time, though, they can stall. They can look for some openings, maybe, because they've got this Prophet who can push out lanes just so well. Make it hard for Panzer to push. But Panzer, meanwhile, are just going to keep on getting more and more farm. Maybe look to take out Roshan soon. They are gathered nearby it, but it doesn't look like they want to take it just yet. And Lifestealer has finished his Orchid Malevolence, that Silence Stick, which is going to be such a great tool for killing that Weaver.
Yeah, both Weaver, Earthshaker, like so many good options in a team fight here. Just gonna keep you alive. And it will be really good against Weaver, that's for sure. That 6 second silence or 5 seconds. I have to 5 second silence. Plus the amp damage is always needed, and as long as we have like a medallion or something on Panza, they're gonna be able to disable that Lincoln Sphere, no problem. We actually have an urn on the Night Stalker, so as long as they have good coordination with that Lincoln's is not gonna do anything for the Weaver.
Yeah, it's one of those items which is very expensive, but so easy to counter. I mean, sure, you still get the regen and the stats from it, but the main reason you're often getting is because of that spell block. The spell block does have a fairly short cooldown. I think it's around 15 to 20 seconds. Looking at the exact, I'm not actually sure exactly what it is. It's a fairly short cooldown, but the problem is that every time it's on cooldown, you can just use a spell like Urn or Medallion to actually break the Lincoln's effect. Communicate well to let your team know that it's been broken, and as soon as it's been broken, you'll see silences, pull coming out from the Storm Spirit to set a kill, and we do see him at bottom lane get ganked. That's the Urn charge. Well, he didn't actually have the Lincolns yet. There we do see the silence from Night Stalker and a very straightforward kill.
Yeah, it's amazing how much those ganks rely on the silence getting off. If he had a Lincoln's there, maybe he wouldn't have earned first or something like that. But you know, if he didn't get the silence, that would have been a Sakuchi, it would have been a hard chase. Did they even have Dust? They just have a Sentry, and wow, that Fury on ulti just owning the crap out of the Lich Venomancer, but luckily they did have a mech. The A ulti comes in as well, trying to slow down this push, but they're going to get the last hit on the tower pretty much for sure. It's going to be Kuroki getting that last hit, and if they team fight here, they're going to be down a Weaver. It's going to be a tough win for MiTH Trust.
Yeah, and MiTH Trust are on the back foot for sure now. They have got the heroes who can fight back though. The ESAA combo is very powerful. They've got the Raw, they've got the Weaver who is getting ganked a lot, being pressured a lot, but if he can just get a couple minutes of farm, get up that Lincoln Sphere, but no, we're going to see Storm fly in, finds the Earthshaker, pops a BKB, the only thing he can do is Raw, but they don't want to use that Raw yet. Raw is safe, he's actually been silenced now, and Night Stalker decides against chasing too far in, as Panzer are going to be able to get this tier 2 tower pretty much uncontested. And maybe look to take out Roshan afterwards.
Yeah, I really like that play by Panza Leaf there, popping the BKB, using the cooldown, and once again they're going to have to fight down a hero. Earthshaker didn't have buyback gold. Kuroki actually taking a lot. Here comes the A ulti as well. Will he rage through it? No, it's actually, oh, he does perfectly, just in time there. And looks like the Weaver trying to defend this. Kuroki in a little bit of trouble. All he has to do is pop into a neutral to infest, but they're going to jump on the Weaver. The silence as well, and he gets picked off immediately. That Orchid doing big work there, or the silence or something, man. Earthshaker comes in. But still, no heroes dead by Panza. Everybody is full HP. They're going to go on the Rexar now. The Chain Nukes pick him off. The Infest once again. And now jumping on the H apparition. I think this game is over, man.
Oh. Yeah, you talk about feeling sorry for the Night Stalker early on. Well, how about this Weaver? He, despite finishing off that Lincoln Sphere, is just been suffering all game. But MiTH Trust have got a Prophet at top lane doing some solo pushing. He's going to get picked off. Storm, Night Stalker, find him. Prophet does not stand a chance.
Yeah, I really like Kuroki's item or skill build. It's pretty interesting. He picks up open wins so late here. He gets a bunch of stat levels after having Feast and Rage max out. Just increases HP because Lifestealer doesn't really have that amazing of a strength gain by any means. As a level 17 hero here, you always have to get other items like damage items. You can't necessarily tank him up as well as you may have liked. So apparently he opts for the enhanced HP, damage, and mana cost for the trade-off of a lower cooldown open wounds.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he hasn't been focusing too much on ganking and team fighting, anyways. To begin with, his first sort of 15-20 minutes of the game was just farming. He'd come out for one gank every couple of minutes, but if you're only ganking once every couple of minutes, that level 1 open wounds is more than enough in terms of a slow. And Panza, with that very convincing team fight, probably going to see them try to take Roshan before they actually do look for that push to take out tier 3 towers and racks. Are in a great position here though, and that gold lead, I imagine, is getting bigger and bigger as it is approaching 10k gold now.
Yeah, and if we didn't feel bad enough for Weaver, Storm Spirit also picking up an Orchid. So they can now silence 3 players of the enemy team for at least 5 seconds at nighttime using Night Stalker's silence plus the 2 Orchids, man. It is absolutely not going to be fun to be Weaver. It's like almost a situation where you have to be like, I need a BKB or I'm screwed, like, which is not very typical for Weaver. Do you ever see BKBs on Weaver?
Oh, you do every now and then. Definitely against certain lineups, it's almost an item you need to get. But generally speaking, you want to go for more damage, an HP-oriented build. So rather than a BKB, you want to go for something like a Heart Radiance. And top lane Prophet, will TP out. Gets in a bit of trouble here, and Prophet TPing out. Venomancer Lich gonna go fight this, and there's the Lifestealer. Storm goes flying in. They take out the Beastmaster before he can even use the Roar, and the entire Panzer team at that top lane with Beastmaster down, and Weaver needs to back off. He's been silenced, but he's out of range of the rest of the Panzer team and will survive that fight. But what's not going to survive here is this tier 2 top tower, and we will see Panzer taking down with this basically group push here.
Yeah, Lifestealer finally picking up the Reaver. It's plus 25 strength there. I would love to see him get a heart next. I think that would be very smart. Like we said, his HP could be better. And when they, I mean, they can win pretty much every team fight here from now on. There's a nice fissure, but they're going to go on him. Looks like Storm Spirit doesn't even care. He does pop his BKB, so at the very least, Earthshaker pays for that BKB charge, but not really much they can do now that that BKB's on the Storm Spirit, man. He just picks off that Earthshaker every team fight. He could also go for the Ancient Apparition, but without that major stun hitting multiple heroes, their team fights are just not going well, and they keep picking off these solo heroes.
Yep, and MiTH, they're fighting back, especially in the way of this Prophet. Prophet, who is bottom lane, is going to get found though. Storm TP's just in time, and goes flying in with the Electric Vortex to stop the Prophet TP. And Natex now has enough gold for a heart, so Natex is going to be getting very, very big.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And Storm Spirit as well will have his Orchid finished. He'll have it. He definitely has the gold. He'll have it on the way in a second. Actually, very, very under-farmed Storm Spirit in some ways. Like 30 minutes, he just has Treads Orchid with the Black King bar. You would expect him to maybe have more. But I mean, their team played so good here. Just constantly really, really good team fight timings and stuff like that. Even though the Night Stalker didn't really perform that well this game, it didn't really matter because they already had those other semi-carries. So it's definitely a very interesting strategy from them.
Yeah, I was actually worried. I mean, for a while, I thought Panzer were behind. I mean, early on, they were up against MiTH, and MiTH were just sort of 5-man pushing, taking towers uncontested. What changed was once the Lifestealer got involved, and the Lifestealer Storm Spirit combo just was so effective in defending pushes, because they would just fly in, take out the ES, and once the ES was gone, there was just no way that MiTH could win a fight against a farmed Lifestealer and Storm going to find Beastmaster. Have they got enough damage? Beastmaster is going to get this Invis Rune. Yes, he is. What he does need to be careful of is the fact that I believe there's been sentries all game on this Dire team for the Weaver, so if one of their support heroes with those sentries does pop up now, he will be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, Venomancer does have a couple more left over. I love his item build as well. Mech Arcane with the Drums of Endurance. It's just so efficient as a semi-farmed support hero. Just really makes a big impact on the team fight. And I love Venomancers that go for this. Either Mech or Pipe, either way, it's so good. Looks like Weaver being chased just a little bit by the Lifestealer. He actually did use his Orchid. Now they're jumping on. Who did they just kill? Ancient Apparition, picking him off. No Cold Feet for the Storm Spirit. He's going to continue regenning up. Needs to get up his mana pool once again, but they're going to be looking to take the last tower. This is the last tower for MiTH. All things will be equal in terms of tower farm, and Croaky even tanking the tower, he doesn't even care, man. He has that heart, 2800 HP, his attack speed is ridiculously good. He's very highly leveled, level 19, compared to all the other heroes in the game. Wow, the Radiant team is so under-leveled. Holy crap.
I mean, Prophet is the only one who actually has levels and farms, but that's just because he's a Prophet with that 20-second cooldown TP, TPing around, spam that ultimate push, and there we go. Storm Spirit goes flying in with the BKB once again. ES gets taken out. The Roar is not going to be quick enough. I don't think it would have been possible to even save that ES, despite how fast he roars. And silence on the Weaver, going to force Weaver to back off, as Kuroki just going to be quite happy to take out this tier 2 tower at mid, with the help of some Venomancer wards, and Night Stalker just tanking up. He's gone for a Vanguard, and it looks like he's going into a hood here. But Panzer do need to be careful, because that AA ultimate hurts.
Yeah, it really does for sure. Hurts a lot less when you have such high HP, but nothing that MiTH can do there to defend that, so they're going to easily take that out. They may back up, go for a Roshan, pick up an Aegis on somebody like, I feel like the Storm Spirit would probably be the best option. I don't see Kuroki dying at all for the rest of the game. The Storm Spirit picks it up, or maybe the Night Stalker. They can go super aggressive, roll up the hill, and take a Rax, which is surely going to see a GG in the next 5 or 10 minutes after that.
Damage.
Yeah, and MiTH falling further and further behind in terms of levels, farm. I mean, level 10 on ES, level 11 on Ancient Apparition. Looking at the Dire team, and you've got level 20 hero, level 19 hero, and I mean, Night Stalker a bit underleveled. I mean, considering on how one-sided this game is towards Panza. He is only level 14, but the Venomancer level 14 as well is very, very sufficient for a support hero. And Venomancer has actually played really well this game, I feel.
Yeah, I would really agree. And if we look at the CS totals, I know we haven't brought this up very much this game, but it hasn't really been a farm fest in my opinion. It's been very tactical and stuff like that. So Nature's Prophet, 250 CS, that ulti ticking a couple over. Ancient Apparition, Earthshaker at 30, Beastmaster at 90, 125 in the Weaver. He's really not very farmed at all. And the Dire team alone, 226 on Lifestealer, Night Stalker at 64. He is really underfarmed, sitting at 1-5 and 12 man. But other than that, Storm Spirit 162, 100 on Venomancer. They're doing a really good job.
And Prophet had enough gold to buy a Scythe of Vith, but instead buys a Shadow Blade. Probably not the best item choice, especially when you have a Weaver in your team and you know Panza are going to have Sentry Wards, possibly picking up a gem soon. But really, that Shadow Blade is not going to be all that useful here, I feel. As yeah, Veno and Lich both with Sentry Wards, and there we you see Storm flies in with the BKB, takes out the AA. Luckily for once, it's not the ES who goes down, and Stormstreet taking the tier 4 towers gets down so low he survives on red HP. And Prophet meanwhile is pushing top, so top, the racks are under attack.
Yeah, I think this is why he picked up that Shadow Blade, so he can do, I mean, they do have Sentry Wards, but more people are going to have to carry Dust now. He's going to be able to do the only thing that it's going to save him from the game, which is possibly Ninja Push in. There's the Shadow Blade being popped, and Panzer Leaf's like, well, he's gone, you know? And
Storm has no mana, he needs to be careful. Prophet could almost go back in and try and take him out, but what Prophet does have to be worried about is his base, as Kuroki is just diving in, getting kill after kill with the help of this Night Stalker. But the problem is those tier 4 towers do a lot of damage when you dive that far, and Stormspirit will hold out the top lane. I definitely feel Prophet could have gone back in there. I think he was just a bit scared, thinking that maybe that Stormspirit would have got some backup.
Yeah, he's going to pop a couple more bottle charges. Will he even heal up in base? No, he's going to go to the bot lane, stop that push, slow it down a little bit. The Nature's Prophet will continue pressuring. If there's any hero that can do pushing, obscene amount of pushing, it will be Nature's Prophet. And it's only going to be easier and easier. The top Rax is almost dead. That melee barracks down to 400 HP. He's going to keep doing these ninja pushes. He's going to keep ulting every 60 seconds. And that just may be able to win them the game. I'd be really, really surprised if it did, but it's always a possibility.
Yep, and here we do see Lifesteal and Negs take out Beastmaster. MiTH just can't go anywhere safely, and Weaver going to be the next one. There's the Urn to break the Lincolns and the Silence to follow. Luckily this time there is an ES backing him up, and Storm Spirit not around to fly on that ES this time, as ES safer now.
Yeah, it looks like Storm Spirit's actually spending a lot of time just guarding the base. He's going to pick up a Mystic Staff, almost guaranteed. I'm expecting him to get a Sheepstick, but he does buy a Dust now, so no more tricks from the Nature's Prophet. He just absolutely ball laning all the way from the fountain, dude. Gonna get a kill. He does have the Dust up. He will continue chasing. If he has the mana, though, and he does, well, he's hitting really hard right now.
Yeah, that Orchid with Mystic Staff, BKB. Look at his damage. He's got 171 plus 69 damage. That's 230 damage. Has a huge amount of mana regen. So even if he flies in from Fountain, give him a couple seconds and he will regen that mana. And Prophet TP's top actually. That top melee Rax is getting very, very low from those treants. Storm going to have to use all that mana up to defend it, and Prophet going to back off, wait for the TP to cool down, to go try help mid. As Storm is the only one defending.
Yeah, but man, Lifestealer is hitting like a truck right now. I haven't seen a hero like this over-farmed in such a long time. When you're 3-shotting support heroes, man, you know it's late into the game. And he basically almost has an AC. He is literally that close to getting full items. And this is all partially as a result of getting that fast hand of Midas. It just, like, really, really makes his farm get ridiculous.
Yeah, it's sped it up completely, and there we go. Beastmaster just going down in 3 seconds, about pretty much that Lifestealer, and we are going to see Panza look out to take out this top rack. They know this Prophet is just going to keep trying to backdoor, keep being a little bitch, for lack of a better word, refusing to fight them head on. As it's all, I mean, MiTH just can't fight them head on. It's the only option he has to keep trying to backdoor that top racks. But if Panza get up if they get a 4 racks lead, no amount of Prophet backdooring is going to be able to get them back in this game. What needed to happen was MiTH need to take that top rack before they lost any racks, which isn't going to happen now. And Kuroki, with that amount of farm, has the Assault Crest finished, has 2k gold on top of that, is unstoppable.
Yeah, no kidding here. He's actually going to get frozen, and he's taking tower hits, but is it going to be enough? There's no way. He's like, whatever, man. I'll rage. I'm going to infest. I'm just going to jump and do so much damage to these guys. He does get trapped again in the trees, so maybe, just maybe, he will go down. He's taking some damage. A ulti. There's the mechanism. He's last hitting, and yes, indeed, Weaver goes down. Once again, there's the open wounds on Nature's Prophet. Unless there's a sentry or something, there's the roar. He is just, like, literally trying to solo the entire enemy team. He can now infest on the pig, and he will go on it. He's going to go on the pig. Will he come out? He does, but he's still frozen. The ice, the cold feet actually, debuff still remaining. And is he going to toggle an arm life? This is just ridiculous, man. He is so hard to kill.
Yeah, so hard to kill. I mean, his damage isn't as high as I would have thought, but he's just the fact that he's impossible to kill with the magic immunity, 3k HP, Assault Crest giving him a huge amount of armor, has 37 armor, and yeah, Holy Master, interesting.